What's up everyone, and welcome to Monday's edition of Reptile News. Now, as most of you may know, I've been having some trouble really getting the videos out lately, and it's primarily because I've just been so busy being an adult and having trouble keeping up with this whole YouTube world. As some of you may know that follow me on Facebook, my son has been playing high school football, so that keeps me pretty busy Mondays, Tuesdays after work, of course, as well as Fridays. And for those of you that know how I record the show, I always record it the afternoon before. So for example, you're watching this Monday morning, it is now Sunday afternoon at, can you see that? 2:45 p.m. is when I'm recording this. So the Wednesday show is filmed Tuesday, which is extremely difficult for me to do. This last week there was just nothing really going on, so I didn't really make a video, but now you know why. It's difficult. Football season ends in the end of October, so I honestly cannot wait for that. And for those of you interested, been doing great. The team's doing great. Go Mustangs. They lost one game this year. So yeah, let's get into the news. And so we're going to start off today in the UK, and I'm not 100% familiar with the areas in the UK, so I'll read this street off. Croydon Road in Wallington. I'm sorry, but I have absolutely no idea where that is. But anyway, the story is the second python in 48 hours has been found roaming free on that road. And Liz Kane, who owns a wildlife rescue just across the way from there, has been trying to find the owner. Now, she hasn't yet found the owner of the first snake. Probably not going to find the owner of the second snake. She's been looking, and despite the 7,000 views on Facebook, nobody has come forward. She's assuming that these were dumped snakes. So the moral of the story, people, please, please, please do not dump your snakes. Somebody will find them. Somebody will want them. Just please don't do it. And that kind of brings us right into our next story, and that was a post I saw on Craigslist. Now, this was on the Los Angeles, California Craigslist, so it's not really in my area, but in perusing news stories about reptiles, I found this Craigslist post, which was titled "Rehoming Snakes." And when I started to read it, I realized that there was a rehoming fee charged for these snakes that was different for every single snake. Now, it's not the matter of rehoming. I mean, if you can't handle your animals anymore, rehoming them is a great idea. The issue that I have is with rehoming fees. And more often than not, in my opinion, people charging rehoming fees for their animals are not interested in finding their animals good homes. They're interested in selling their animals. And if you look at some of the stories that we've covered before with rescues charging like $50 rehoming fees for green iguanas when you can go to Petco and buy them for $15, it boggles my mind. But I'm going to leave the question up to you guys. What do you think about rehoming fees? Do you like them? Do you hate them? What do you like about them? What do you not like about them? Leave those in the comments down below. And now we're going to move on to Australia, where I can't pronounce this, so I'm going to read it off my screen behind you here. The Condamine earless dragon, which is feared to have been extinct since the early 2000s, has been making a re-emergence during a solar project down there. Now, the solar project is being put on by a Canadian-owned company, and oddly enough, the Canadian-owned company said the discovery of this lizard has not stopped any of their development or not, but of course the wildlife people down there say that they haven't been made aware of this discovery yet. So this brings up another really good question. And what do you think? I think I'm kind of by myself here, where I say I understand development and the need for human survival and advancing. I understand development, but what do you think? These people claim to have had several relocations of endangered or rare animals from their site, and in my opinion, that should immediately make construction stop. Now, I don't know. I've been told that Australia is extremely strict on their wildlife laws, and I'm pretty sure here in America, if that happened, work would stop on the site until biologists came in, herpetologists, whatever, and got things figured out, you know. So what do you guys think about that? Leave that again in the comments down below. And last but not least, I want to talk about a man that I didn't know. It seems like every time I hear a news story about somebody within our community that I end up being friends with them on Facebook. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's very bad. But this particular person, I'm not friends on Facebook. I didn't know him, but looking at the sheer outpouring of people from that work and have a hobby within our community, it seems like this guy was really liked, and that is Ryan Sobrayan. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I really am. Unfortunately, Ryan was working and got bitten, or I guess clipped, by a fang of a black mamba, and he did not survive the bite. They're saying that he was working on milking the snake when this happened, and it's just it seems like such a tragic loss. Like I said, I wasn't friends with Ryan, but in looking at his profile, which I've linked down below, he seems like the kind of guy I'd like to have known when he was around, and just by seeing the outpouring and the sadness of what's happened, that kind of reinforces that. So let this just be a message to everybody out there that deals with these animals. I don't care if you deal with large constrictors, I don't care if you deal with venomous animals. Be very, very, very careful. And also, as kind of a side note to this, call the people you love today and tell them you love them, because you never know when tragedy like this is going to strike. And that, my friends, is going to be all your news for this Monday. If you'd like to read any more about these stories, that link's right down below here in the description. And as always, if you're still watching, my name is Jason White. Now you know what's going on in the reptile world. Be good to each other, and hopefully we'll see you Wednesday.